Tonight on KGW News, memories come flooding back.
He's arguably the most memorable trailblazer.
How the community proves there's still a lot of love for Damian Lillard.
Well, I come back with love, and I'm excited to be back in the Motor Center.
Also tonight, leaders set out a new plan to get tough on fentanyl.
We're up against a rising tide of fentanyl-related addiction and deaths.
But with treatment and willingness limited, can they really make a dent?
We cannot be stopped. We will always smoke our fentanyl.
But first, a church's plan to help those without a home now met with bitter backlash.
Let me ask you a question. Why here?
Thanks so much for joining us on this Tuesday. I'm David Mulco. And new at 11, things got ugly in Tiger tonight with neighbors voicing and in some cases shouting strong opinions about that proposed program that would allow a handful of people living in their cars a safe and temporary place to park. Alma McCarty was at the meeting in Bull Mountain. And Alma, it sounds like those opposed definitely outweighed those in favor.
Yeah, David, many showed up tonight hoping the proposed plan doesn't become reality, saying the residential area surrounding Christ the King Lutheran Church is the wrong place for the three-car program.
Tuesday night, an informational meeting slated for an hour at Christ the King Lutheran Church on Southwest Bull Mountain Road in Tigard ran much longer.
Who is monitoring this?
Solve this problem!
People packed the church and the hallway.
It's a conversation about not just us as neighbors, but of our neighbors who are experiencing houselessness.
The nonprofit Just Compassion, partnering with the city and the church, would allow up to 3 cars to park safely and discreetly in the parking lot here, while the people living in them work to get back on their feet. The executive director hoping to clear up some misinformation about the scope and type of program.
Our intended safe parking sites in the Tiger area will hold no more than 2 to 3 vehicles, passenger vehicles or vans, but no trailers, no RVs, no abandoned vehicles.
Both Emma and Ellie work for Just Compassion's parking program and explain those interested in participating must pass a background check and want to get permanent housing.
Our goal is to relieve you of the stresses of having a safe place to park so we can move towards getting you housed and getting you placed in a timely manner.
I wish that it would be heard that this isn't just kind of a free-for-all. There's a contract, there's rules and regulations.
Although the room included some supporters,
it just felt very tightly controlled without a lot of opportunity for everyone's voices to be heard.
Most people came with concerns, including Pam, who's lived in Tigard for 25 years.
It's an awkward situation because you want to be compassionate and you want to feel like, of course, we want to be open-minded and helpful. The concerns had to do with safety primarily.
Those fears fueled the discussion, which turned contentious at times and devolved into shouting at others.
Let me ask you a question. Why here? Why here?
My question is, what security do you have? And how can you be sure that I'm not going to need more security?
The level of trust is not there. Okay. Everything you say, you need to take a few steps back to build that trust.
And we know our neighbors, and now we're going to be in a situation where we don't know who's here, who's living here, who's influencing just the area. So it's unsettling.
We should point out that the group running the program already has a handful of safe parking areas in undisclosed parts of Beaverton, but none in Tigard so far. In terms of a timeline, there isn't one. No set point as to when the safe parking program would set up here, if at all. David?
Yeah, still a lot of questions and uncertainty. Thank you, Alma. Let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now. Vancouver police just released photos of the car they believe ran over a man and then took off. It is a red or maroon sedan, possibly a Ford Taurus. A 67-year-old man was crossing 4th Plain Sunday night around 7 when he was hit by a pickup. That driver stopped and is cooperating, but police say a second driver in the red car went around to get through the backup and ran over the victim again. The victim died at the scene. If you have any idea who may have been driving this red vehicle, you're asked to call Vancouver Police. In Portland, police are looking for a woman they say shot and killed her husband. Authorities found 37-year-old Philip Pierce dead Friday morning in a house in the Lentz neighborhood. They're now searching for his wife, Annalisa Gold. They say she may be driving a burnt orange Toyota 4Runner license plate 501 HSB with white decals for uplifted aesthetics on the rear windows. Police say Gold is likely armed and dangerous. If you see her, call 911. And in Beaverton, Life Flight landed in the middle of a park this afternoon to help a man who apparently accidentally caught on fire. This was around 1 at Beaverton City Park. A witness describes what he saw.
I seen the guy take a lighter up to his face and then a flame and it go like this, and then he started running, and then poof, he was all on fire.
We're working to get an update tonight on the victim's condition. Well, now to a big announcement from Oregon's governor, who alongside county and local officials declared a state of emergency in Portland over the ongoing fentanyl crisis. And while skeptics may say it is long overdue, leaders say the move will help them work together. Blair Best with the update.
There's an air of defiance among some living on Portland streets.
Probably 15 years now. Yeah.
That's how long Logan's been addicted to fentanyl. He smokes and plays cards at a food truck park on West Burnside.
We smoke it every day, all day long. It doesn't hurt us at all. I mean, honestly, I just don't know how to stop smoking it.
I think it's been an emergency that deserved the attention that it's getting right now for a long time.
Kristen Gonzalez sees it daily.
When I'm walking downtown, I see people that are in need, that need help from their county and that need help from their state.
Well, good afternoon, everyone.
On Tuesday, the state of Oregon, Multnomah County, and city of Portland each declared a 90-day fentanyl emergency for Portland's Central City.
We are here because times of crisis call for focused action and strategic coordination.
We're up against a rising tide of fentanyl-related addiction and deaths that are unlike anything that we've seen before.
The next 90 days will serve as planning time.
A combination of disciplines and existing resources will be coordinated and strategically deployed for the duration of the emergency.
That will be based out of a command center in downtown Portland, where the impacts of fentanyl will be recorded and leaders will talk about what more can be done.
Declaring this emergency will help us address this and other gaps in our system.
There will be a focus on street outreach and addiction prevention. More people will be trained on how to use Narcan, an overdose reversal drug, and state police will continue to work alongside Portland police, stopping drug deals.
This 90-day response is a potentially big step towards achieving a consistent, unified system that will allow us to effectively deliver these critical community services.
A move they admit has taken them years to get to.
It's one thing to declare an emergency. It's another thing to make sure that we have resources.
Individuals who are struggling with fentanyl addiction are worth investing in, fighting for, and providing a clear path to recovery.
Even people like Logan, who has no interest in being helped.
We cannot be stopped. We will always smoke our fentanyl.
Blair Best, KGW News.
Prosecutors say a local child abuse case that just wrapped up today highlights a big gap in Oregon law. A warning, the details in the story are disturbing. Anna Miranda of Tigard was sentenced today to more than 8 years in prison. She pleaded guilty to charges of criminal mistreatment. Investigators say she and her husband abused several children they were caring for in their home over many years. One child, police say, was chained for more than 12 hours a day for nearly a year. The Washington County DA's office says this case went far beyond the typical child abuse allegations.
This is a case that rose to the level of torture. And when we see these cases as prosecutors, we feel a little helpless. There isn't really a crime in Oregon that fits the level of mental, emotional, and physical abuse that combined to create these criminal charges and to constitute what this defendant ultimately did to be charged with these crimes.
The prosecutor says their office and others have tried to convince the legislature to create a new law that can fully encompass something like this, but so far nothing has changed. Well, to a bit of good news tonight, specifically for Portland property owners dealing with downed trees from the winter storms. The city is now cutting some red tape by waiving retroactive tree removal and replanting application fees. Now, those fees are typically $100 for up to 3 trees and $25 per tree after that. The Parks Department says this applies to any property damaged by falling trees or branches between January 12th and February 23rd. Yes, that is 3 weeks from now. You'll be able to get more details on how to apply for a refund on the city's website starting next week. And new at 11, if you suffered damage from the storm and live in Portland, the city wants to hear from you. They've just opened an online form for homeowners and tenants to report damage. Those details help the city add up the total damage and help with requests for financial help from the state and the feds. You can get to the form at portland.gov. We'll also have a link for you on KGW.com. And straight ahead tonight on KGW News, Blazers fans prepare themselves to see Damian Lillard in a Bucks jersey.
I think it's almost like a breakup where you see the person out with somebody else for the first time.
Ouch, but they are still showing their love. How all of Dame's big moments in Rip City were on display for fans tonight. And baseball fans, here's a reason to dream as the group trying to bring the major leagues to Portland sets their sights on a new property.
And you know, it almost felt like baseball weather out there today with temperatures in the 50s. Southerly flow still keeping us warm. That's Mount Hood, of course. But we've got a cool down on the way that will bring a little new snow to the mountains and actually quite a bit of dry weather.